Once upon a time, in a remote castle situated deep within the forested mountains of Austria, there lived a girl named Lavra. Her father, a retired soldier, resided there with her. Their life was quiet, peaceful, and utterly lonely. No one ever visited them, and they were happy just the way it was. One day, however, Laura's life changed forever when a carriage crashed outside their estate. The driverless carriage tumbled down the hill and came to rest by the castle gates. Seeing this, Laura's father went out to see what had happened. He opened the carriage door, and inside he found a beautiful yet unconscious young girl. Fearing that she might die, he carried her inside and put her to bed. Soon enough, the girl's mother arrived. She was elegant and graceful, but also very secretive about how she had come to be there. She begged Laura's father to take care of her daughter while she traveled away and disappeared soon after. The girl's name was Carmilla. When Carmilla awoke, she was weak and confused. Laura greeted her warmly, and soon enough the two became fast friends. Carmilla was pale and graceful, with long flowing hair and a delicate figure. Her eyes were dark and intense, and she seemed both familiar and strange to Lavra. Laura felt drawn to her friend, but there was something about Carmilla that unsettled her. While Carmilla seemed innocent and sweet, Laura couldn't help but feel that there was more to her friend than met the eye. One day, Laura noticed that Carmilla would stare at her for hours on end, and Carmilla would compliment her beauty, calling her the most enchanting creature in the world. Sometimes, too, she would lean in and gently press her lips against Laura's cheek. Though Lavra was flattered, she couldn't help but feel creeped out by her friend's behavior. At night, Lavra had strange nightmares. She dreamt of a large black cat-like creature that crept onto her bed and sunk its claws into her chest. Every morning after these nightmares, she would wake up feeling drained and weakened. As the days passed, Laura grew increasingly concerned for her friend. She noticed that Carmilla's skin was always cold to the touch, and she had strange bite marks on her neck. Despite this, Carmilla's mother insisted that her daughter was healthy and strong. Lavra knew, however, that something was wrong. Meanwhile, in the nearby village, a series of mysterious deaths had occurred. Several young girls had become suddenly ill and died shortly after. They, too, had complained of strange dreams involving a woman in black or a large black cat, and they, too, had cold skin and bite marks on their necks. The villagers whispered of vampires, but no one dared speak the name aloud. One day, a grieving general arrived at Laura's home. His name was General Spielsdorf, and he too had lost a niece to the mysterious illness. Her name was Josephine, and she had died after meeting a guest named Millarca. Laura felt a chill as she realized that Millarca was another name for Carmilla. She learned that Carmilla had been staying in the general's house before coming to live with Lavra. She had been a guest in many homes over the years, always welcomed with open arms. And in each home, a young girl or woman had died after being visited by the mysterious guest. The general had heard rumors of a vampire preying on young women in the area, and he suspected that this guest, Millarca, was the one responsible. He confronted Laura and asked her if she could bring her friend to his house so that he could question her. Laura agreed, and that night, she watched as Carmilla was taken away. As the weeks passed, the vampire continued to claim victims, and the general grew more and more desperate. He decided to visit a hermit who lived in a nearby cave and was rumored to have knowledge of ancient lore. The hermit told the general of a creature known as a strigoi, a malevolent spirit that used young women as vessels. The strigoi was said to be able to change its shape and appear as a beautiful woman or a terrifying beast. It preyed on the life force of its victims, draining them of their vitality and leaving them lifeless husks. The hermit also told the general that the only way to defeat a strigoi was to drive a wooden stake through its heart, while it was still in its human form. Armed with this knowledge, the general returned to Laura's house, where he confronted Carmilla. He accused her of being a vampire and demanded that she confess her crimes. However, Carmilla denied everything. She looked at the general with tears in her eyes and swore that she was innocent. Laura, who still loved her friend, believed her story and tried to defend her. But Carmilla suddenly lunged at the general and sank her teeth into his throat. Laura watched in horror as the general collapsed, his life force being drained away. She finally realized that Carmilla was indeed a vampire, and she vowed to stop her friend. Just then, Carmilla turned to Laura and smiled. She told her that she was going to spend eternity with her now, and Lavra screamed in terror. Carmilla was too quick for Laura, and she soon had her friend trapped in a corner. Laura could feel her life force being drained away, and she knew that she wouldn't survive the night. Just as Carmilla was about to deliver the final blow, Laura remembered what the hermit had told her about stakes. With a burst of adrenaline, she grabbed a nearby wooden chair and lunged at Carmilla. Carmilla was taken aback, but she quickly recovered and knocked the chair out of Laura's hands. Lavra fell to the ground, defeated, and Carmilla leaned over her, ready to finish her off. Suddenly, the room was filled with light, and a group of vampire hunters stood in the doorway. They had come to rescue Laura, and they wasted no time in attacking Carmilla. Carmilla fought back, but she was outnumbered and eventually fled, disappearing into the darkness. The vampire hunters gave chase, and soon they had her cornered in a ruined chapel in the woods. There, in a stone tomb marked Mircalla Karnstein, they found her body. And despite being dead for centuries, she was still alive and well preserved. They drove a stake through her heart, and she screamed, a sound like thousands of bats screeching at once, then silence. The hunters removed the stake and examined Carmilla's body. They found that she was no longer warm and that her heart had stopped beating. They had finally vanquished the vampire. News of Carmilla's defeat spread throughout the land, and people came from far and wide to see the ruined chapel. Some even claimed to hear the echo of her screams in the wind, and some said that they saw the ghost of Carmilla wandering the forest at night. Lavra survived the ordeal, but she was never the same. She spent the rest of her life in a secluded monastery, haunted by nightmares of Carmilla and the life they once shared. She would never forget the love that had turned into fear, the bond that had crossed life and death. And so the tale of Carmilla, the first female vampire in Gothic fiction, was passed down through generations, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the hearts of even the most beautiful creatures. Carmilla left behind a trail of mystery, sorrow, and eternal night. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more content.